I love this comment because it means I get to be the bearer of extremely exciting news. Guess what? There are so many extinct animals that haven't been identified yet. People identify new ones all the time. First of all, there are fossils that have already been excavated that are sitting in drawers in museum archives somewhere and nobody has described them yet because formal description is fairly labor intensive and just nobody has got to it. And there is so much stuff still coming out of the ground, partly because lots of the world is difficult to get to and people who live there haven't been doing paleontology for that long, but even in places where neither of those things is true, there are still large, impressive dinosaurs still coming out of the ground. Like, you know, Spinosaurus? I'll put a Spinosaurus on the screen. Two cousins of him, 2 years ago, new ones, England. Last October, I talked about a new sauropod out of Spain. The dinosaur I talked about in the previous video that this comment was left on was found in North America. I should mention that large animals are less likely to be fossilized completely, partly because the higher up you get in a food chain, the fewer individuals there tend to be, and partly because it's pretty unusual for a large animal to be completely covered in sediment enough to fossilize its entire body. But even then, like, it happens. Last time a more than 50% complete T-Rex specimen turned up, I don't know the year off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was in the 21st century. Like, we're still finding those. If you live in Montana, you might have a T-Rex in your backyard. Like, I bet nobody has checked, which is kind of like my point, I guess. Like, even if you have a really large, attractive needle, don't underestimate the size of the haystack or the number of needles. There are so many of these things out there, and we have the entire world to comb through. I think it's going to take longer to identify all of the bones in the ground than we have until we ourselves join their ranks. Or to put it in a slightly less dark way, we're never going to run out of novel, interesting stuff to look at. If you think this is interesting, you should follow me. This is something I like to talk about.